Welcome to Story Time, where I tell a true story. At its root, this is a story about fear. There's one thing that I'm more scared of than anything else, okay? I don't mind telling you, and that is space. The infinite void of space is terrifying to me, okay? That movie Gravity, Sandra Bullock, nightmare scenario for me. Listen, in space, you just float away. You let go of the thing, and you just float away. They can't get you. You just float away. Sandra Bullock, she's spinning out. George Clooney, save me. This is my nightmare, okay? Just thinking about the emptiness of space makes my insides turn outside. You know that fear? I only have that about a very few things, and the top one on the list, space. You might think, Christian, why you worry about space? Space isn't coming for you. A, space isn't coming for me because I stay out of space's business. And B, you don't know it's not coming for us, okay? The infinite void of space is incomprehensible. That's part of what makes it so scary. This being the case, it might surprise you to learn that I once attended space camp. Yes, space camp is a real place, or at least it was in 1990 when I was 10 years old and I went to there. You know what I was thinking about the whole time I was walking around space camp as a 10-year-old? Man, my pants are uncomfortable. This is an ad. What y'all know about Western Rise? I've talked about Western Rise before. I straight up love these pants. If you guys watched the video when I took River on her 10-year-old trip, speaking of being 10 years old, I wore these pants like every day. They are so comfortable, they stretch, they're water resistant, they're stain resistant, they look good, they're everything you want in some pants. I like this little pocket for my cell phone, use it all the time. You know, sometimes you put your phone in your pocket and it gets too far down there. That's what this is for. It works really good. They don't just have pants, they have shirts, they have other accessories. Their socks are pretty dope. And if you're watching this video when it comes out, they're having a sale right now, 25% off. That's serious. Okay? The end of May 2022. Go to the website, check them out. The discount code is SUMMER. I will link it in the description below. You know, talking about space camp, NASA is all about innovation, and that's what these pants are. They're an innovation on the pants. Old pants weren't cutting it, okay? New pants is where it's at, and Western Rise is them. Get into it. I'm not joking. They're super comfortable. I love them. Y'all might know about space camp from the popular movie Space Camp. Is it still popular now? I don't know. It's one of those 80s movies. Maybe it's fallen through the cracks. Space Camp. Who was this? Space Camp, 1986. Joaquin Phoenix was in this movie? I remember Leah Thompson. She was like the main one that I remember from the movie. It's these kids, right? They're in space camp and they accidentally get shot off into space. I think there might have been a rogue AI situation or something, but the shuttle goes off with the space campers in it. 1986. That movie came out. This buddy of mine was gonna go to space camp. His parents were gonna pay for him to go to space camp. I don't know how much space camp costs. I'm pretty sure I couldn't afford it. But my friend wanted to go. He didn't want to go by himself. He wanted to have a security blanket of another friend. And for some reason, he chose me. He and I, we didn't spend that much time together, but I remember when we did hang out, it was usually for like a whole day, or I would spend the night, and we used to play with constructs. If y'all were around in the 80s, you might remember constructs. It was, you could construct things. Look up constructs if you want to know what I'm talking about, if you don't already. My friend and I, we would just make weapons, okay? We would make swords, daggers. I made like Wolverine claws out of constructs, and then we would battle. We would do battle with each other. Constructs wars. That's what we mostly did. But this guy, he got a ticket to space camp. His parents were connected, I'm pretty sure, with some people who can get you into space camp. But either way, I got invited to go to space camp with him as his plus one. Awesome. At 10 years old, space for me was mostly about Luke Skywalker. And, you know, he seemed to handle it fine. I did have the thought about space camp, what if the shuttle accidentally goes off? But I figured, you know what, they're not gonna put us on the shuttle, which they don't. So you don't have to worry about that. Space camp is like any other camp. You know, you have a cabin, or in this case, it was like a dormitory where we slept. We had different teams, okay? The teams were a company plus a color. Like McDonald's red, something like that, okay? My team, still remember, I will never forget this till the day I die, I guess, because it's locked in there. My team was Teledyne Brown. What is Teledyne? Is that a company? It sounds like the company that invents the Terminator. That's Cyberdyne. But it's similar, right? What is Teledyne? Does Teledyne make something? Teledyne Technologies Incorporated, an American industrial conglomerate. They definitely making Terminator. Engineered systems, aerospace, and defense electronics. It's not a joke. They make the Terminator. Teledyne Brown. How your team gonna be brown? Real talk, I love the color brown. But as a team color, it's not right. It might as well be, hey, y'all about to be the worst team. Spoiler alert. We were the worst team at this camp. I don't remember anyone's name on my team except for my friend. We were on the same team. And let me just tell you about him, okay? As soon as we got to the camp, he got a crush on a girl on some other team. He ghosted me the entire camp, okay? We didn't work together on any projects. Anytime our team was even doing a project, homeboy was off chasing this girl. Who is she? Is she an astronaut right now? I sure hope so. You invited me to this camp, and now you're just gonna peace out. My space camp experience was lonely, y'all, okay? Because my one friend left. And so anyway, here I am at this camp. I don't know anything about space besides the Millennium Falcon. They don't got one of those. And there's a dude, I remember this one dude, he was taller than the rest of us, terrible haircut. I don't remember his name, but he knew all the space facts. He said, I watched tons of Nova. I was like, what is Nova? I think it might have been a show on PBS. But anyway, he consumed it rapidly. And he was all about that space. I was like, we got a ringer, y'all. Just let's follow him. Make him the leader. Because he knows everything. There was a short kid, though, that was maybe friends with him. And he had a big personality. He was one of those guys that, he didn't get a lot of height. But he made up for it, more than made up for it, with his general boisterousness. I, at that time, was more of I'm going to stay by the wall, observe everyone, crack a one-liner to my friend who will listen. Wait. He's gone. So just to myself, basically. So the short guy, he was the de facto leader of the Teledyne Brown team. He was all about it. And he decided that as a team, what was going to define us was we were going to sing everywhere we went. This was not a music camp, but he's like, we're going to sing. He's like, this is how we're going to develop camaraderie. You know what? For a 10-year-old, that dude was a good leader because he's like, we're going to link arms. We're going to follow the yellow brick road from one place to one place as we go, and we're going to sing. I remember we sang the song, Stand By Me. Darling, darling, stand by me. Every verse on repeat said, when the night... over and over. We might have sang other stuff, but that's the one that I remember being like our team song. What were we doing? Teledyne Brown. We lost every event. This one event we had to design and then construct a space station. Construct, just like constructs. I thought, this is me and my homeboy. This is our chance to shine. He wasn't even there, okay? He was off chasing a woman. Anyway, we're gonna design and then build, a space station. I'm like, that's cool. We start to build. Everybody's like, hey, let's do a cutaway. Where you build a thing and then it opens up. You can see the different rooms. The nerdiest people over there. Okay, this is the room where the oxygen is whatever. And this is the room where we prepare the food. This is our space station will spin in space, giving us a modicum of G-force. The short dude, team leader, he was like, it's like this. And he started taking over. The cutaway we build, can you guys imagine like a barn, okay? A space barn. It looked like this triangle, and then it opened up. Who is gonna go live in a barn in space? It was the worst looking thing that has ever been made at space camp. Teledyne Brown holding last place down so hard. We're like, oh look, ours is a cutaway. And the judges, I could see on their face, they're like, y'all made a space barn? So dumb. There were some cool activities at space camp. I remember the food being not great. They were like, hey, try this astronaut food. Hey, newsflash, astronaut food sucks. I remember the counselors really loved waking us up early in strange ways, okay? One morning, they literally took pots and pans and clanged them through the dorm. Bang, 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 and we woke up and, oh my God. And then one morning, they blasted the Top Gun theme song as loud as possible. Like, so loud that I thought my brain was bleeding. I also have a memory of, at one night, a kid really wanted to read scary stories. He was walking around reading scary stories, trying to freak all the campers out. We're all laying there in the dark. He's got a flashlight. I remember some details of the story too. It was and it was pretty graphic. I'm not gonna get into it here. But if I could go back now and tell him, I'd be like, don't you realize that space is already the scariest thing? You could just talk about the blackness of space and the infinite, undiscernible void that is ever expanding and maybe also gonna crush us. And I would pass out from fear and sleep would be accomplished. The final event of space camp is a mission, and half your team is the ground crew. Okay, everybody's got a job in the ground crew. Nobody wants to be on the ground crew. Everybody wants to go up in the fake shuttle. There's the captain, the mission commander, the one who works the Canada arm. Remember the arm from Canada? If y'all are around and thinking of NASA in the 80s, the Canada arm was a big deal. Okay, it's basically a script that you read. I was like, yo, but this is like play practice? This is maybe my time to shine. I haven't known anything about space, but I could read some lines. And they're like, okay, you're gonna be the ground leader. What's the name of the guy who leads the mission at mission control in NASA? I was the commander of the ground, okay? Ground control boss was me, because I had a lot of lines. What am I, like number 3 or 4 on the call sheet? That's pretty good. The idea is, you get up there, you're reading your lines, and you're doing a cross-check this, blah, 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 lift off, all that stuff, and then you get up there and they throw some trouble at you. Obviously, we made the tall nerd the mission commander because he knows what's up. We're like, he's gonna be able to solve the problems. Short guy, he was the captain. He was our team leader, so he was the pilot. My friend, I don't remember if he was on the ground crew or in the shuttle. He was probably on that girl's shuttle. So I remember I would read my lines, and I remember being really frustrated because no one else was following the script. I'm like, guys, we're getting graded on all this stuff, you know. People aren't following it. All right, they're not performing. They're not doing their lines. And I don't know who got which lines. I know I'm holding out my lines though. It was nothing like the movie Space Camp where lives were on the line. We're just reading scripts and most people aren't even doing that. I remember at one point, the shuttle was supposed to dock at either a space station or a moon base. It was like futuristic something, whatever. And I just remember we didn't even finish the script when the whole shuttle team jumped off, threw the door open and ran. They're like, we're here, we're at the space station. I remember my character had kind of a speech at the end, like, hey, this is the day that's gonna live in infamy because Teledyne Brown has made it to the station. They jumped out of the shuttle before I could even finish the line. Needless to say, we got last place in that one too. I don't know if space camp is why I'm scared of space. I'm gonna guess it's probably not. You know, because I don't remember much space stuff. I mostly just remember the social dynamics and our just abject failure in every event. But space is scary. That's not something that I'm willing to really budge on. Space, it's not for me. I'm not going to space. I will hold it down here. Y'all go to Mars. Y'all check out the moon. Y'all do that little flight where you just go up and then you experience. None of that is for me. How did I grow up then to love Star Wars so much? Look, if it involves a lightsaber or I'm preparing to make my attack run on the Death Star trench, we're fine. S-foils, attack position, lock them all day. Lock S-foils in attack position, y'all get it. X-wings. At a certain point, they're giving out awards. We got like a participant medal, which everyone got. And then there was awards. And I remember our counselor looking kind of defeated. And he was looking over there at the Boeing Blue team. And he was like, man, those guys were pretty good, huh? And our little short captain looked right at the counselor and goes, yeah, but can they sing? We were the best singers in that camp. We were the only singers. I want to see a karaoke competition. Space camp.